Short, bald, and angry.
You sometimes find that your dreams get in the way of your dream. Get out of here! Dreams blocking dreams. Dreams preventing my dreams from dreaming. Get out of here, Baldy! He called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys.
I'm a shooter, goddammit.
Cross me again, I'll put a bullet through your head!
Not that kind of shooter. A peace-loving shooter. A cameraman. I might appear to be short, bald, and angry on the outside, but I assure you I am tall, happy, and handsome on the inside. I am a walking contradiction. Let's get this thing started. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 5, episode Cinco of the Short, Bald, and Angry podcast. My name is Ian.Cinco, and as I record this intro, there is a thunderstorm outside. You can probably hear the rain falling, and there's some thunder. This is a special episode, and not just because I have an affinity for the number Cinco, but because I really admire my guest today. My guest is Ryan.w.bock, the artist behind all things Bockhaus. He primarily paints and draws in black and white and grayscale, although he's known for being experimental too, including on occasion diving into experimental film and animation. These days, I'm always excited because I see his art popping up on buildings and staircases, and he's like literally just covering the world in his art. Really love that. Today we're not just promoting him, we're promoting a fundraiser that he's put together to help the families who have been separated along our southern border. The fundraiser is for Immigrant Families Together. It's tomorrow at the Deep End, 1080 Wyckoff. It starts at 8 p.m. and it runs late. Ryan will be building a wall of his own, painting the bricks, and it's our job to take that wall down by purchasing a Bockified brick for, I believe, $20. Don't quote me on that. Behind the wall, musical acts will be performing, and the lineup includes Sam Mutin, Nas Lieber, Bex, Jill, and Dwendita. It's going to be a great night, and I hope you can make it out. I really admire Ryan, not just as an artist, but now that I really sat down and talked with him and learned what he stands for as a man. He's a man who cares about other human beings, regardless of their skin color and where they come from, and especially if they need help. I give Ryan mad props. I think I said kudos on this episode for doing this fundraiser, but he let me know how he feels, which is he feels weird receiving kudos. He's not doing it for himself. It's not about him. It's about not remaining complacent. It's about standing up against injustice and doing what's right and taking more than just symbolic action by raising money to take real action. And we need more people like him. These days, everyone's asking for money on Facebook. Every morning I open Facebook on my phone and someone's asking us to donate to a cause for their birthday. And my horrible selfish side says, damn, now no one's going to donate to my Patreon. But I know that's not true. I just hope all these charities can be trusted. I've always been skeptical of charities because probably because I saw a piece on 20/20 or 60 Minutes when I was a kid growing up, and it imprinted on my brain at a very young age that charities can't be trusted. Because charities can be schemes, and it's not uncommon that a large sum of the money ends up in one person's hands and never gets to the place it was intended, or at least not where the donors thought it was going. And of course, corporations use charities to move money around in mysterious ways. But I digress. These horrible facts don't mean we should not donate to charities. I looked up Immigrant Families Together, and it seems super legit. So if you're looking to take action like Ryan, consider donating to Immigrant Families Together. And as always, that link, along with all links discussed here, are in the description of wherever you are receiving this podcast. Unless it's been pirated. This is one of the greatest causes you can donate to right now, I think. This is one of the worst human rights violations in America since this current administration took office. It's disgraceful. And as Ryan says on this episode, it's not surprising. It's history repeating itself. What is it about the blundering and greedy ruling class that always incites them to intern people? It seems to be written in our DNA, like all leaders at some point lose all basic human decency. They lose sight of all that makes us human, and they become human rights violators. Where do they go wrong? Usually the answer is simple, I think. You just have to ask who's profiting, like where's the money? Who's getting paid? That's why. There's always someone profiting off of these atrocities, fanning the flames and collecting the cash. There's a challenge that gets thrown down on this episode. If you listen, you might hear the challenge to be draw Trump as a turd. That's hashtag draw Trump as a turd. At one point, I think I joked, that's your homework. Everyone go do that now. If you feel like doing that, it'll be fun. But I think the real challenge that emerges from this conversation is, can you shake yourself out of your complacent cocoon? Can you take action that contributes to real change? And it's a tall order, but it's the only way things will ever change and get better. My very good friend Caitlin Tusek did it. She just raised over $14,000. I think I say $15,000 on this episode, which might be right, but I know it was definitely over $14,000. And she raised all that money by getting over 100 artists in Denver and some from elsewhere to donate art for the same cause. Different charitable organization, but she raised money for the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network for the same cause, to help the immigrant families who've been separated at our border. I had an announcement that I was super excited to make, but in light of this episode's conversation, it seems silly and childish almost, but I'm going to make it anyway. My presidential twat stickers have arrived. For those who follow me closely, you may remember months back I drew Trump as the Twitter logo with his toupee flopping around in the wind and with a small penis pissing. I know plenty of people who will love this. It's definitely clever. It makes a lot of sense. But let's assume you're a Trump supporter. Can you not agree that this is an accurate depiction of our commander-in-chief, doing what he does best, flapping around Twitter and pissing all over everything? For a limited time, all new Patreon members will receive their own presidential twat sticker. This means you can jump in at the $1 per post level, or I think you can even customize it. It doesn't matter. For a limited time, all new Patreon members will receive a presidential twat sticker. Also, my OG 3 patrons, if you're listening, you will also receive this. So donate today and get your own presidential twat sticker. Alternatively, you can buy my book Erotica with a custom drawing in the front for $30, and I will throw in some stickers too. These stickers are also for sale. I'm not sure it makes sense for me to be selling them individually, at least not through the mail. If you see me, I'll sell it to you individually, or maybe I'll just give it to you. But if you can't afford to donate to my Patreon on the regular or buy my book and still want your own sticker, reach out to me. We can work something out. Let's cover the world in the presidential twat. Donate to my Patreon, please. Link is in the description or bio of wherever you're getting this, so get it. In other news, as I mentioned last episode, my old roommate Sean Phoenix is in town to act in legendary cult film director and founder of Troma Pictures, Lloyd Kaufman's new film, Shakespeare Shitstorm. I'm not sure if that's the actual title or working title, but damn, that sounds catchy. Shakespeare Shitstorm. Yeah, I got to act in it too. I went with him. It was super fun. It was amazing. And Sean is a super talented, multidisciplinary dude. And what we do for money is very similar. We're both shooters and editors. But he also has a band called Dream Council, and I'm a huge fan of that band. I'm not sure there's going to be time for me to get him on the podcast before he leaves because we spontaneously decided to make him a music video while he's here. It's totally run and gun, super last minute. We're going to make it up as we go. There's no schedule. But if you're at all interested in acting in this music video I'm making him, contact me. Or if you know Sean, contact him. Come out. We're pretty much shooting around the clock till he leaves Friday morning. So hit us up. We need help. We need actors. We need amazing people to hop in this video and make it awesome. All right. It's so funny how easy it is for me to, I'm this like shy, quiet kind of guy, to ramble on in these intros without any sponsors. I'm not actually being paid to promote anybody, and yet, I'm just rambling on, and somehow it still feels like I'm forgetting something. Like, what could I possibly be forgetting? If I remember, I'll just have to include it next week because I've been rambling on for it's not that bad, a little over 10 minutes. But I know what I'm forgetting. He shares a really sensitive story, like something that really affected him in an adverse way, a very personal story. It's towards the end of the podcast. I don't recommend skipping ahead. I recommend listening to the whole thing straight through to the end. And yeah, I mean, thank you, Ryan, for sharing that this story with us at the end. I think it's valuable for all artists, young and old, to hear it. But yeah, I don't think I need to say anything else right now. Besides, thank you for listening. And without further ado, I give you the wizard behind Bockhaus, artist Ryan Bock.
Terrible posture.
Posture is important.
I don't get some headphones?
I'm not at that level yet. I'm working up to the that level of mixer.
Okay.
That would help, though. I think that would remind the guests to keep their mouth on the mic.
Yeah, probably.
I've been thinking about that. All right, man. So we're rolling. I got Ryan Bock in my studio today. Ryan Bock is an awesome fucking artist. Can you describe yourself for me real quick? I mean, I know your work, but yeah.
I don't know if I can describe myself, man. It
sucks,
it's a tall
right?
order.
Well, I mean, you draw, you paint.
Yeah. I do so much different stuff, man. Like, I don't even know. I don't like to limit myself by saying just one thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, primarily I'm painting right now.
Yeah, there's no shame in saying that, man.
Yeah,
I think that's like a recurring theme. Everybody who's been on this podcast has like 20 different titles.
I do so many things.
And we all have to do so many different things.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I mean, I highly recommend everybody go check out Ryan's work.
Thank you.
It's definitely got you're super consistent with it, and like the majority of the stuff, at least you post on Instagram, is painting.
Yeah.
Black, white, grayscale, and
three tones. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I give you.
Super consistent, man.
That's what keeps it consistent, man.
It's super identifiable that way. I mean.
Yeah, definitely. But I do like a lot of different. You know, I'm getting more into like installation stuff and video. I think that's
how we met.
That's how we met. Yeah, was through video.
Yeah.
But I'll go back to that eventually. But for now, it's like. Yeah, painting is just easier. I don't need a team. I don't need.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not really like doing a ton of video right now because it's just so exhaustive.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I'm sure you feel the same way. I just want to have something that I've made that like I made it. And, like I know what that is.
Yeah.
I made it.
No,
Sometimes
definitely.
you work with like a team of people and you're not sure what the hell happened by at the end of it, Did I even need to be there?
It can be definitely dangerous for sure.
I was looking for the old videos last night. Are they up anymore?
Oh, mine.
Yeah.
One is not. And that's actually a good question. I don't know what the situation is with that, but I think the artist wanted to re-release it.
Solomon Faye?
Solomon Faye, yeah.
Faye? Yeah, I love that video, man. That's
a good one.
Super dope video.
That's a good one, yeah. I have it on Venmo, but it's private.
Yeah.
He asked me to, I had to.
Well, that's cool. So there's going to be a re-release. What's that one called?
Maybe. I don't know. Quest?
Quest?
Yeah, there's some, like... I don't know. I won't get too deep into it, but like okay. The situation with that is like a little like on the fritz, I guess. I don't really know like what his plan
legality
is.
Stuff or something. With
not really. Kind of just like ownership, and not my ownership, but ownership and like weird shit like that. Like I don't know the situation really, so I just let them fucking figure it out, and I'm just like. I could show it to you, but
that's always a fear of mine, man. Like I like having my work out there forever.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah, no,
I'm always afraid it's going to be removed for some reason, whether it's the artist or YouTube legal thing, whatever,
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, God, if you can get your eyes on that video, that's how we met. We were at the Brooklyn Music Video Festival.
It was that one, so it must have been like 2000.
I don't remember what year.
13.
I know it was like the second one that I participated in.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I can't remember the year at all. There's no way I'm going to
must have been like 2013, 2014. I think we released that in 2014. It's a long time.
It was striking, man. And you showed other videos that time too, right?
Maybe.
Was there other ones?
I've actually only really done. I've done a few.
Actually, I think
videos,
it was the one. I remember it was the one.
It may have just been one. And then I think the next year I showed the other one that I did. Yeah. Cool. Also, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
2015?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
But then there was another video you made that I saw. It was, tell me if I'm wrong, it reminded me of like George Gross. It felt like it was in Berlin or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the Gabriel Garzon
Maybe.
Montano one with the cut.
All animated.
Yeah, the cut puppets with the hinges, and that's the only other one that I've really done. So I imagine it's that one.
I just remember like it felt like a lot of city, like German city landscape type stuff.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So that's the second one that I did. And actually, the last one that I did, not forever, of course, but in recent history, I've done some other like live action stuff, but those two are definitely the ones that sort of got me my start in New York and sort of got people to know about me and my work. So.
Did you move here?
Yeah.
You're not from here?
No, I'm not from here originally, but I lived here before. I move around like all the time, but I moved here from Chicago.
Is that where you were raised?
No, I just went to school there for 4 years, and then I was born in California actually. So I've literally just been bouncing.
Where in California, man?
I was born in San Francisco, and I lived in like Bay Area, like Mill Valley, for like 3 years, and then moved to Connecticut and. I mean, I'll go through it. You want me to name all the names?
Unless there's one that you want to shout out.
I can do it real quick, you know.
Do it quick if you
I don't
can,
shout
man.
anyone out there or anything. I don't claim anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, California, Connecticut, back to California, New York, Chicago. No. Oh, I'm sorry. After New York, Texas, back to New York, Chicago, back to New York. So I keep returning to New York.
Yeah.
I guess.
Is it because of the art culture or
did I move
scene?
or
no, the
I
fact that you
New
come
York?
back to New York, or is there any reason?
Yes and no. I mean, I like it here. It sort of like matches my drive. I think sort of the energy here, and I definitely appreciate the different scenes that are here. I think it's just a good base. You know, you can kind of go anywhere and say, oh, like I live in New York, and people are just kind of like, oh, we love New York. So it's kind of just like a little like, you know what I'm saying?
You're with apostrophe New York. What is?
No, actually,
you're not?
Well, apostrophe unfortunately is I guess I'll make a public statement on this, even though they haven't.
You don't have to.
Well,
I mean,
fine. It's dissolved essentially. So.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but also
I was always hoping to get in there, man.
Yeah, yeah. People say that. No, I think it's at the end of the day, it's good. You know, sort of open it up and allow for like new things to happen. And I still work really closely with Key, who's one of the guys who did apostrophe. Now he has Key Smith Gallery. So that's
cool.
sort of
So it's still going then.
Sort of, yeah. It's sort of like lying dormant right now. He's trying to get a space and stuff like that. And you know, the minute he gets a space, it's gonna kind of pop off again. But until then, it's a little quiet, which is fine. You know, I'm always sort of like, regardless of any situation like that, I'm always trying to push myself and do my own thing, and so I kind of, you know.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Is your studio still at the street?
Yeah. It's super close. Yeah, I've been there for like 6 months or something. So I guess it's been longer now, maybe 7 months, 8 months.
I love that space, man.
Yeah,
I love everything you do, man. It's sick.
You.
Like you were saying, you got to check out his Instagram. It's the easiest way to just sort of digest all this stuff quickly and go back in time.
Yeah.
Like you paint on walls, steps.
Yeah.
And your style, would you agree, sort of cubist?
Sort of like neo-cubism, for lack of a better term.
Expressionist, German expressionist.
Yeah, I'm super inspired by German expressionism and like futurism, and
it's so well suited to just like painting it on architecture and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely I'm super inspired by weird like architectural oddities, I guess.
Yeah.
And I also kind of, I guess I just sort of take a lot of spaces that other people just won't, you know. So I sort of, I don't know, a good example is like the Bock Shack Mystery Shed. Have you seen this one on Star Street?
That's where I bought your book. I met up with you when you were doing that. Yeah, I rode by on my bike, bought the book on the spot.
That's right. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one was like, I mean, it's just a funny story in general. But that's just like a construction shed.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. They told me,
I remember you were
it's
like,
going to be gone in like 3 months or something.
Yeah, but it's been
It's still there.
going strong, man.
Yeah, I guess that Thai restaurant didn't open after all.
There was going to be a Thai restaurant.
Yeah, they were like...
This neighborhood needs a Thai restaurant.
Yeah, whoops. Sorry.
So many options, but no Thai.
Yeah, I don't know what the situation is with that. But yeah, it's just kind of like a really shitty construction shed, and I'm sure most people would have seen that and been like, fuck this, but I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I don't know.
Do you find like the temporary, like if something's going to be ripped down, it's freeing in a way? Or do you not even care about that shit?
Yeah, I don't really care. Like, that's sort of like the way of doing things on the street, you know what I mean? It's like,
going to be like that
yeah,
anyway.
It's here one day, it's gone the next, someone going to tag over it, and people get really upset about that stuff, and I'm just kind of like, after a while, you just working yourself up for no reason. It's like, this is
that's
public
the way
domain,
Totally.
Yeah, it's like...
It's almost like a sign of respect to get tagged on over or something like that. So.
I don't know about that.
It's like now you're part of the street.
Yeah, I guess kind of. It is like
welcome to the street.
Collective voice or something like that. But actually, most of my shit on the street goes pretty untouched, which is great.
It is, yeah.
Kind of because I think it's because I don't really like. I mean, I don't have like a crew or anything. You know what I mean? Like, also, I don't do graffiti, so no one really like knows like who I am essentially. So there's no like beef or anything.
Bockhaus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I hope no one,
And you go by Bockhaus because your name is Ryan Bock.
Yeah.
I guess you're thinking like there's like Bauhaus.
Yeah,
there's like house movements.
There's sort of a play on that. Someone gave me that name.
Yeah.
In Chicago, and it kind of stuck. So
it's great, man.
I thought it was witty.
Your whole package is just like tight. It's all good.
Thank you.
Good to go.
Tight package.
Yeah, you got a tight package, bro.
Thanks, man.
Do you think of it as branding, or do you like not think on those terms?
No, I actually do. Like, my dad is in marketing and has been for like many years. He's almost like a marketing guru.
That's
what people have referred to him as.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely, to me, it doesn't take much thought. It just sort of comes naturally in a lot of ways.
That's
but
awesome.
It's definitely something that I'm like, I'm aware of. You know what I mean? I sort of kind of realized early on, but not early enough, that just being talented is just not enough. It's not gonna get you where you want to go, depending on where you want to go, I guess. But
yeah. I think that applies to everything, man. I mean,
yeah.
if you get lucky, it's not gonna last. You gotta have shit that backs up that luck.
Yeah, you gotta have the knowledge, and
just relying on people giving you shit isn't gonna get you anywhere. You gotta be able to do kind of like a little bit of everything.
Yeah. That's also another reason why I'm sort of okay with like the whole apostrophe thing playing out the way it did, and it's just a sort of like. I don't want to rely on that. You know what I mean? I don't want to, like I do rely on other people and sort of systems that work for me, but I try and be sort of as independent as I can, because you never know what people are gonna do, man. Like,
true.
A lot of people are sort of in the game and then out, and you kind of get left in the left in the dirt that way. So I don't know.
I think it's a smart way to be.
Yeah.
It's sad, but I grew up watching X-Files, man. Trust no one.
Exactly. You never know, man. You never know. But no, Key in particular, I really rely on probably too much. He's like, shout out Key Smith.
Yeah, man.
He's amazing.
No, I think it's great to have collaborators. Obviously, people helping you out. It's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
He's also just so knowledgeable. Sort of on the other side of art business and the market and stuff like that. And this is definitely something I'm making a huge effort to learn about. So I'm sort of like learning from him, and I'm always asking him like, how are we gonna price this? What's the best way to go about doing this?
Do you slide around prices constantly? depending on piece and like where it's going?
Well, now it's getting a little more complicated. I sort of have like a set system, and I can't really deviate from that because it has to be consistent. And sort of the more I do, the more serious that has to become.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but everything cool.
Yeah, no, I constantly have to mix the
okay.
levels and stuff.
Okay, I got you.
It's
It's
all
like
good.
you're turning the knobs
I was
and the
actually
wheels.
changing mine. Sorry if it makes you feel like, oh shit.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You're doing everything right, man. You're doing everything right.
Good.
Let's just let's get on to what you wanted to like promote today.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
You're doing this fucking great fundraiser, man. Like,
Yeah, I'm doing this fundraiser. It's basically I'm raising money for this foundation called Immigrant Families Together, and it's sort of works on a very individual basis to try and reconnect these families that have been separated by the Trump administration. So yeah, I kind of had this idea. I've had this idea for a long time. I have this like reoccurring pattern, like brick pattern that I do. It's in a lot of my work. So I have been playing with the idea of like painting these bricks, just actual physical bricks with this pattern.
Are you painting them like just painting a brick a solid color?
Well,
you doing more?
Painted gray first, and then it's basically halved diagonally, half black and half gray.
Okay, cool.
So it creates
we'll
this.
See it soon,
You'll see it. You'll see it. Yeah. So yeah, basically we've been painting like close to 300 bricks with this pattern, and like I told you before, there's always a setback. Everything was going very smoothly, too smoothly, and luckily I sort of had the foresight to try and get this done several days before the event. But basically, so I'm going to install these bricks as a wall, and then the idea of the event is there's musical acts performing behind the wall, so you can't see them, and it's a free event, and people come, they buy a brick for $20. We have like a special tote bag that's being printed, possibly as we speak. You put the brick in the bag, and then the idea is by the end of the night, the wall is deinstalled, it's totally gone, and you can see the performance happening. So it's sort of a heavy-handed metaphor for the wall. Yeah, exactly.
But the wall already fell, huh?
Yeah, and so basically, I'll retell this.
I think
what happened.
I think it's a appropriate metaphor.
Yeah, it is, and it's also just like this is just like the struggle, like things like this happen all the time, and you gotta push through it or just give up, which you can't do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No matter how much you want to
go through the phases of like, this is great, I'm a genius. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
failing. I don't know what the hell I'm
God.
doing. I give up, and then you have to climb back up.
Yeah, and then you have to call your mom. And,
Yeah.
Your mom, it fell. So basically, I set up the whole wall. Well, I've been setting it up the entire time. I've just been finishing the bricks and stacking them, essentially. So I think
At the location at the show.
No, in my studio. So I think the wall was maybe like 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall. It was getting there. And yesterday I was painting like literally the last few bricks. Was like, oh, this is great. Like I'm gonna be able to work on other things this weekend. And then the whole fucking thing fell. And
Now you
it's
gotta
just
do it from
like
scratch.
the worst
So what do
thing
you
that
have to
could
do?
have
Buy
happened.
a bunch of new bricks and start from scratch?
No, I mean, fortunately, maybe like 20 of them are just totally destroyed. So I'm trying to salvage the ones that are left, and we'll see. Like I don't really think that there's time to make more. The damage is with a lot of them is just sort of like cosmetic, but then there are some that are really super chipped. More chips.
How many
than
bricks
not.
are we talking about? Like enough
300
to cover...
bricks. Like 300 bricks.
Can't picture what that covers, but that's gonna cover a band, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Where's the fundraiser?
it's actually, it's in this weird kind of gallery space that, do you know the Deep End? It's a restaurant. Excuse me, it's a restaurant bar. Shout out to them for helping with this. I just painted the front of the restaurant, and it's actually in the same building as my first studio.
Cool.
You probably went there, maybe not.
Where was that?
It's on Wakeoff. It's 1080 Wakeoff.
I don't think I was there.
Avenue. It's like
It's
Ridgewood.
right over here?
Yeah, Ridgewood, Bushwick.
Nice. I like when events are in my backyard, man.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's handy.
That's a way to get me to come out. Just
Yeah,
do it
it's right
next
down
door.
the street. Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually not right down the street, but it's
pretty close.
It's close enough.
I ride a bike.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be
I'll be
fine
there.
then. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1080 Wakeoff this Thursday. I don't know if this is gonna come out in time, but
This is gonna come out Wednesday. It's the
when-
day before the
Ooh.
event.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Classic. Okay,
It's
nice.
killing me, man. Doing this podcast every
Oh,
Wednesday.
sure. Yo, thank
I'm
you
like,
for.
I'm spending a ton of time leading up to that Wednesday, and then like that Tuesday night, I'm just up
You're
the
gonna
entire
rage.
night.
Oh wow, damn.
I don't know. I need to find like an expert mixer, like a mixer and master person to come
I
over
got
and give
you
me like
actually.
a solid
if you
fucking.
if you need someone, he
Yeah, I
might
do.
be expensive, but you. Could,
I have a friend who's hopefully gonna walk me through it because I need to get taught.
You need to learn.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
pay
yeah.
someone.
Well,
to do
if
this.
you want-
Like, I
if
could
you-
pay for a lesson maybe, but
Yeah, if you want to meet up with my friend, he's a super talented mixer master. He's like he's French. He's like number 3 in France right now or some shit like that. Shout out Lionel L Sound. It's my buddy from
he
way
does
back.
like for bands, music.
For bands, hip hop, like
Commercials?
mostly. I think right now he's doing a lot of hip hop, a lot of like big acts out of Paris and
Cool.
some other like people from Brooklyn and stuff like that. So, but he's extremely talented, and I lived with him for a while, and I didn't even know like what went into engineering sound.
Oh yeah, it's a ton.
It's like wow, like I just sit there with him, and he'd be like, oh, like. He's French, so he's like, oh, your hands are blah, 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 all this stuff. And it's crazy. He can, like, listen to a song, and, like I'm sure you can, too. Like, me, I see someone's work, and if I know them well enough, I'm like, oh, I can tell immediately, like, you made this, even if it's not in, like, the style or whatever, like, I can tell that your hand is, in it.
Not just the musicians, but the producers. You can tell the artists.
He can tell, he's like, oh,
he can tell
this
he
person
mixed it.
mastered this.
He can tell he
Yeah,
mastered
because...
it, yeah. I mean, every people have their like thing that they do.
Yeah.
Whether they do it on purpose or not.
Yeah.
It is identifiable.
Yeah, no, definitely. So he's an amazing dude. I can I don't know. You can meet him. He's cool. He'll probably be
One
there
of my
Thursday.
best friends does it, so he'll probably.
Word.
But I would love to meet him. I like meeting all kinds of people.
Yeah,
who
of
do
course,
that, and,
of course.
And when I'm still gonna make movies and shit, and like that's literally half of the equation.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
it might
Sound
not cost as
editing.
much as all the other stuff,
Yeah.
but it takes as much time
That's-
and meticulous attention.
Yeah, especially for animation, man. Like,
Yeah, that's where it becomes really apparent. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
you
creating
need
everything
that.
in animation from
yeah,
scratch.
exactly. And you need to be able to create some sort of like sound that works with that.
It's kind of no different with live action though. Like it's crazy how much work goes into sound design.
Yeah.
It's an awesome, inspiring art form, actually.
It is. It is very interesting.
Um,
It's definitely sort of beyond me, but it is interesting.
well, that's good, man. I'm actually like at a point where I am trying to cut certain things out because I don't know. I got to a point for years I was like I kind of gave up on the art thing, right?
Mhm.
And I was like I'm just gonna be a filmmaker. Like that's I'm not the artist I thought I was gonna be.
Yeah.
And I didn't like quit, but I was like I'm gonna be a filmmaker artist.
Yeah,
you know?
you were focusing on that.
And then somehow like I got back into the art again. It was Instagram. It was a lot of things, just like posting on Instagram. I was like, I'm an artist again. Shit. But then it got to a point where like I guess like 4 years of doing that, I was like, oh, I want to do everything I've ever wanted to do again.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I can, but then the last 2 years of my life have really punched me in the face, and I'm like, well,
Oh,
maybe I
man.
can't. But I still like I have my list of things I want to do, but I'm definitely like if it's something like music. I don't know. I have like a kind of musical background. I'm like, I'm not getting into music again.
Yeah.
Like, there's like certain things I'm just like, I don't need to do these things. I need to like actually stay focused on.
Yeah, at some
something.
point, it's pretty important to realize your limitations and to sort of like.
You are one person.
Yeah, this is like sort of something that I'm really like playing with too. Is like just delegation, like figuring out the right person for the right job because
Yeah.
there's people that could bring things to the table that you would just completely miss otherwise,
Totally.
So, and it's always fun to sort of collaborate with people who, know different things than you. You
Yeah.
know, they bring different things to the table.
That's probably why I feel like that's probably why you've had a lot of successes because you are. I don't know about if you've been good at delegating, but you have had good collaborations. and
Yeah.
you've had
I
that.
mean, I think Yeah, chalk it up to good taste, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, not to toot my own horn.
No,
but
you've got a solid look. It's awesome art.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
You were talking how your mix master friend can identify mixes, but I think
Yeah.
anyone will be able to identify like, oh, that's a Bockhaus right there.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's been interesting to sort of develop that over the years, and now it's really set. And now I'm happy with it, but I'm always trying to push it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing more of these like 3-dimensional things and sort of bringing like these different elements that are in my paintings into like the real world. You know, it's great with like the stairs. You know, that was like one of the first things where I was like, I'm drawing this guy like, you know, this shadow going downstairs. Like, why am I not just painting this on stairs? And then I did it and was like, oh, okay.
It's funny because your drawings have that, like, because they're like expressionist and cubist, they have like the shapes that are moving around forms. It was meant to be.
Yeah,
you
really.
were totally making your sculptures before you even.
Yeah, totally. And
now it's just like, what can't you cover? It's like, somebody
basically.
give this guy a building and everything inside it. You know.
Yeah. No, it's coming, man. It's coming for sure.
Or a whole street.
I'd love to do just like a whole like hotel or something.
Hell
you know?
yeah,
just
man.
everything in the hotel, just Bockhaus.
Partner with some like mogul and just call it the Bockhaus Hotel, man.
Yeah, oh, it's coming.
Throw your name
One
all
day,
over it.
I'm sure. You know,
Slap your name,
slowly but surely.
do the Trump building, man.
The Trump building.
Let's get down there.
Yeah, he would never let me.
I know. No, well, let's not ask, right? Let's get a squad of people, but that would fuck you over since your art is so identifiable.
That's true.
You can't
That
pull
is
the
true.
this was like fans did this.
Yeah. You never know though. You know, those fans are crazy.
I think it doesn't work in court, man. I think it's like if you get caught for putting stickers up and shit like that, you can't pull the my fans did it. Thing you get. I think you get
really?
in New York at least. I think you get the blame.
Oh man, don't tell me that.
I'm afraid. I just actually printed for the first time a bunch of stickers.
Oh yeah.
It's Trump is the Twitter logo. It's like a little Trump Twitter logo thing. and I'm gonna put them up everywhere, but I'm a little afraid and a little tentative. I haven't done any street art.
That's
at all,
fine, man. I think stickers are kind of as long as no one sees you do it. Stickers are kind of like. But I do know that there's like a sticker policeman, you know, like someone that goes around and takes pictures of all the different stickers and
they keep catalogs of it. And when you get caught, they have the file on you, man.
Yeah.
I've heard stories.
That's an extensive catalog that I'd like to get my hands on. Actually, you know, like talk about a book to print. You know,
that'd be awesome, right?
that would be fire.
They've done all the work for us.
Yeah, exactly. Just nicely categorized everything.
Useless job has make it useful, actually, right?
Yeah.
Put it to good use. Sorry, cop who goes around giving tickets for that.
Yeah.
Your job is kind of useless. Nobody respects that.
Yeah, no one respects you. That's okay though, you know, whatever.
Fuck. Dude, what else can we say about the show before we move on? Like, kudos to you for doing it because this is such a good cause. There's so many things that we need to give money to and help out in this world, and like this is such a great one to.
I mean, honestly, thank you, but I feel weird about getting kudos from it just because it's like. It just feels like the right thing to do. It just feels like the right thing to do, and I'm happy to do it. You know. I'll talk about the people that are performing because that's sort of like a major element. Let's see. So I'll start from the bottom, from the top, whichever perspective you have. But so my friend Sam Uden is gonna perform. He's been working on a project. He does like really experimental, like electronic kind of music. So he's been working on a project for like I don't know how long, like a couple of years, and this is like his first live performance with this new project. So I'm super excited to see how it comes out, and I know he's stoked. And he's been my homie for like many years. I live with him in Chicago. He's super talented, super weird fucking guy. Shout out Sam Uden. Then Nas Leber is going to play. Nas Leber is like also been my homie for many years. He just released his first project. He's a musician. You know, he'll kill me if I call him a rapper, but he raps, he sings, he does many things.
We're all like that. We don't want to be categorized
it's so
or
annoying.
labeled.
It's so fucking
annoying. But we don't want to be mislabeled.
It's weird, right? Because now everyone is just like, oh, I'm an artist. And I'm like, you're gonna have to give me a little more than that because like now
'Cause you're-
like, musicians are
'cause
artists.
you're a fucking
now you're the
artist.
artist. Whatever.
I mean, I subscribe to the to two things, which is like every art form is art. Like everything you can do creatively is art.
Yeah.
And I believe everybody's kind of an artist, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like bullshit that
But
everybody's
also some
walking around
people aren't.
saying I'm an artist.
Yeah, but some people aren't. You know
Some
what I
people
mean?
say
Some
it and
people
they
are
don't actually make
technicians and
anything.
yeah. But
or they're technicians.
yeah. But whatever. Okay, so back to Nas Levers. So, I've been rolling with him since like 2011, 2012, and he's been making music the whole time and performing. He's an amazing performer, and he just released his first project. So let me plug that. It's called Six Gear. It's streaming everywhere. Like anyone who listens should listen to that. He's an amazing.
Six gear, like
Six Gear, like
shifting
six
gears in a car.
Yeah, gear. It's about like driving home or something. I don't know, but it's fire. It's really
Nice.
dope. So he's gonna play. Then my homegirl Bex is gonna play. She's also an amazing singer, performer. Shout out to her. I don't think that she has a project out. I'm not sure. I think I would know if she did. And then Jill. Jill is gonna perform JIL. It's like a 3-person. Really, it's great. They actually just released a project too, which is amazing.
I wonder if I've seen it. That sounds kind of familiar.
JIL.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, it's like really experimental, like psychedelic R&B almost. Like it's very genre. All these people are kind of genre bending. You know, I can't really place them. You know, again, the labels. But their album just came out.
Yeah,
What
it
is
applies
called?
not
It's
just to
called-
like the type of artist you are, but the type of art you make.
Yeah.
You get lost in it, and it's like,
Yeah.
just look at it, just listen to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Just absorb it.
Yeah.
Let me plug their album too. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Fire for a Cold Generation. Let me look it up.
You want to get it?
Just so I can like proper representation, you know.
In the meantime, I'll sing.
Yeah,
Nah.
could you?
No, I gave up on music. I need to focus on film and art. I can't bring music back into the equation, so I will not be singing.
We'll get you to sing one day.
Yeah.
So the album's called Emotional Heat for a Cold Generation.
Fun.
I highly recommend listening to that. It's definitely
Badass title.
a trip. And then the headliner is Duendita, who is also super amazing singer, performer. She's been spending a lot of time in Berlin. I actually haven't seen her in a long time, but I've also actually known her for super long time, and she's been doing really well. Also sort of like very genre bending. I can't really place like what genre she makes, but it's very intriguing. It's very like different.
Maybe we'll ask the artists, but if you want, we can throw the links to their shit in the description.
Oh
of
yeah,
this,
that would be cool.
you know?
No,
Yeah.
that would be really. Yeah, we
sure
should
they'd
probably
be down,
should do
right?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course they would
I'm
be
all
down.
about throwing like 100 links in there.
Yeah, that's great.
It's like-
Hyperlink everything.
Yeah.
You know?
and click on all of it.
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it.
Fucking listen to this shit, man.
Stop
like,
what you're doing. Fuck work.
Yeah.
And
Or no, fuck work. You can do work and listen to music
yeah,
at
right.
the same
Exactly.
time.
Well, I mean,
you know?
fuck work for like the time it takes to click. Right?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Check out some new shit.
Yeah.
Support
So,
indie artists. Are they all indie, or are they like some of them bigger than that?
I think they're all indie. I don't
Do you
really.
consider yourself indie?
I guess. I
I
mean,
don't
I don't
know,
have
yeah.
any like.
You're not repped, right?
No.
Apostrophe's done.
No. I mean, even apostrophe is like independent, so it's like,
But if you're repped by an independent thing, you're
are
You're
you
still
still?
repped.
Are you?
I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know. It's
I don't
fucking.
know. I rep myself, man. It's
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
only way.
I'll take help where I can get it, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, if the right person comes along, of course. But I've had terrible experiences with representation, so I'm not a jumper.
Right.
That's my new saying. I'm not a jumper. Like I don't jump at things. You know, people are like, "Oh, I have a great opportunity," and I'm like, I'm not jumping. Like you
Yeah.
gotta tell me a little more information before I jump.
Yeah, all kinds of con
But-
artists out there, and
Yeah. Oh,
or just people who don't realize that.
bro,
what
you
they're doing is full
no
shit, or they
fucking
don't care
idea.
that it's
Con
full- yeah.
con artistry in the arts is like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, shout out to all the musical performers.
Hell yeah.
For Thursday. I'm super excited. They're all down to help out, and that's another thing. Like I really like I take my I hope that people take my recommendations seriously, because these are all like musicians that are super talented, and they really deserve like, all the shine and all the, everything that they have coming. I think that they all have very bright futures. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm similar to you that way. Like, I fucking love musicians, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I know
great.
so many of them, and they're all struggling hard. And it's like, in a way, it's harder for them to make money than it is for us. Like, with their art, I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm not making a ton of money from my art, but I am making a living from my art right now. And
that's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, it's
Congratulations.
like, I just told you how I have to leave this space, so I don't like. My situation's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to start charging more, and that might be like,
but
we're not gonna hire you.
But that's natural.
Yeah,
you gotta elevate.
Hopefully it works out. You know? But yeah, musicians, it's just like, you can't make money from your music. You have to make money from other things. And like, it applies to art too.
I think you could make money from shows and stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I feel you.
You have to perform. You have to have merch. You have to you put your music out. Like I make a piece of art. I'm making money directly from that art. They make that music. They make zero money from that music.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's
make. I mean, I don't know the semantics, but I'm sure they make some money from streaming, and
it's
of course
like
all these things are
pennies.
on like iTunes.
It's pennies.
And, yeah. I'm sure.
There's new things to get money from, but like Tidal. If you're an indie artist, you're not making money on Tidal.
Yeah. No, I'm
so
sure
you go to Spotify and Apple, and you're not making any money off of that shit.
Yeah.
It's rough, but
yeah.
But yeah, fucking music is it's literally like the soul, like dangling into your ears. So I fucking love musicians, man.
Yeah, I do too.
I love surrounding myself with them.
They have a very like different perspective than I do as far as expression, and I definitely really enjoy trying to compliment.
We compliment each other. That's the thing. It's like you get two of us in a room, we might be stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
Is that your phone?
I think that's you. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That is totally a spam call too. I get so many of those.
Oh yeah, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
But
it's because they just released all our information recently.
They did?
Yeah.
Huh?
I forget what there's some law passed or something like that.
Oh Jesus!
Our numbers
Christ.
are all out there. All our private information has been dangled out even more than it used to be.
I feel like it's already been out there. Man.
But there was some recent thing where it just got. Fuck it. Let's not talk about that shit. Although, do you want to say anything about the administration or the situation with the families or anything like that, or?
I don't know if there's really much to say.
I'll skip ahead then to the fucking anger question, which I have to ask everybody on the Short, Bald, and Angry podcast.
Okay, let's go.
What makes you angry? That shit makes you angry.
What makes
me
angry? Yeah. I mean,
families being separated has got to be one of the most egregious fucking things of all time. It's like, what the fuck were you all thinking?
It makes me really angry, but I would be lying if I said that I was surprised at this point. And that's really like the scary part about it. You know what I mean? Is like this type of shit happens, man. This
historically
happens all the time.
Repeating.
It's so fucking stupid. Not only is it just inhumane and fucking terrible, but you raising a whole generation of new people that fucking hate America, and it's like, that's stupid. Yeah, that's not going to play out well for.
That's not going to make
us.
America great again when that's the population that's going to be the majority of this population. So.
Yeah, and honestly, it makes me hate America too. So
I'm with you, man.
What can we do?
I've been called unpatriotic, and I feel like it's just like that doesn't mean anything anymore.
First of all, that's bullshit.
It's like a childish view of the world to think about nationalism and patriotism as things that matter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I think it's really stupid, and honestly, it is patriotic to speak out about these things, because that's
I agree. I agree. If you're going to hold that word up as though it means something and it matters, like it's patriotic to care about humanity and treat humans
of course
equally.
And I'm sure if I knew my quotes more, I would quote someone saying like, protesting is the most patriotic thing, Benjamin Franklin or whatever. Someone said it, all right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Someone.
But we can just say it. We can just appropriate it.
Yeah.
Not only are we artists, but we're patriots.
Yeah.
And we can just say it. Right?
Yeah. Fuck it. Even though I don't consider myself a patriot.
I know. Saying it out loud makes me kind of like I'm twitching.
Yeah, I know. Like
I've always been like that. I'm like, this country's fucking over everybody.
Yeah.
And
some people more than others for sure.
Yeah, obviously more than not everybody, but some people are privileged, some people aren't. But we've done so much irreparable damage around the globe, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a problem.
And somehow we're still living in this like the rest of the world isn't really messing with us. It's like we're just getting away with it, and I think big reason is because everybody still wants to live here.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people view it as like a hopeful place to move
Yeah.
to because the rest of the world is so fucked up.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean that's sort of like the weird thing about it too, right? Is we could complain about America all we want, but there's definitely places where it's worse.
It's way worse. Yeah.
There's a lot of fucked up shit happening everywhere, and I think consecutively more so, which is like scary as well. Like
Yeah.
things are definitely. I don't think things are.
I mean, we have
up.
the drug war here, and like
Yeah.
and like the prison planet, like
Yeah.
that's the shit that's here, but we don't have, I shouldn't even say this out loud, but we don't have like bombs going off. Our cities aren't being bombed right
Yeah.
now. We're not.
Yeah.
We're the ones bombing still. We're still bombing. Like,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
this day, we're bombing. Like what?
Yeah.
What
Drones
the fuck
and
are
all
we
that
doing?
shit. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man.
That definitely does not promote security anywhere.
No.
But yeah. So I mean, obviously, I agree. I'm not surprised by it either. But I'm super pissed off about it. A lot of people are. My friend just did a fundraiser in Denver, man. She's also an artist. She raised like $15,000 or something
Wow.
like that. Yeah.
Wow.
But she did like a thing where she got like I think like hundreds of artists together. So it was like lots of like just a mountain of people involved.
I think that's a good way to do it, man. Like, I don't know. It's just coming,
Shout out quick Caitlin Tusek. Just
Word.
be shitty not to say her name.
Yeah. No, I really think it's sort of our responsibility as artists, and honestly, just as fucking white people to
Right.
stand up and try and do something. And I just, I've been guilty of being complacent. A lot of people have been guilty of being complacent, and it doesn't feel, you just can't be complacent. It's just, you just can't be. There's things that we can do.
Well, you can be, but that's why shit stays shitty and gets worse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously you can, but my interest does not lie in being complacent, of course.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just trying to make an effort to do better, by other people. And
I always believe there's a majority of the population that would totally always be on like our side and would always be and like wants to help and wants to change. It's just we all feel so helpless and hopeless.
Yeah, I feel really sort of helpless as well. That's why this is sort of, even doing this project is even sort of just therapeutic for me, because I feel like I can actually help in a realistic way, But yeah, there's definitely a huge like a atmosphere of helplessness, and I mean, I don't blame anyone for feeling that way. Like,
Every day the headlines are so discouraging.
yeah, it's terrible, man. It's really like we've just slipped into this weird, bizarro world where like the Trump administration is fucking working to weaken the endangered species act or whatever. Like this shit that's like, dude, why are we focusing on this right now? Like, why is this what you guys are like? This just makes zero sense. And
you go down the list of shit that they want to do, and it's
fucking bizarre, man.
Like I know there's a lot of people on that side who think what they're doing is right, but like it just seems so evil. It's so evil. It's like, are you just sitting around making a list of every evil thing? I do believe like even a majority of politicians are kind of like they don't really think that what they're doing is wrong. But sure, I'm sure some of them are like happy to be evil and twisted. I think Trump is like a maniacal little twat of a kid.
Yeah, I can't understand the mentality, but another reason why I just did the show in Paris.
Oh yeah, what was I don't know anything about it. How was Paris, man?
Oh, it was amazing, but the show was called I'm Afraid of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like super interesting.
What's that, a Bowie song?
Yeah, it's a David Bowie song. And just that experience alone to sort of like take my gripes with America somewhere else and do a show, like a public display about it, and was like super eye-opening and like just very interesting.
I mean, they all get it over there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they have like very similar issues,
With their own politicians, you mean?
Yeah. Well, they almost just had Madame shithead. What is her name? I forget, but like the female version of Trump, like almost
Right.
elected,
Yeah,
like super close.
I remember.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, it's just like weird. It's this weird like global mentality of, all right, we're shutting off from the rest of the world. We're scared of these things that we don't understand, and we don't want them here. And I just sort of see this weird movement where it's like totally the opposite of what I would think of as progressive, and it's just unfortunate, you know. And
You're talking about the part of the country that elects those type of people?
I'm just talking about in general. Like I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, with Brexit. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Brexit. Yeah.
Brexit, yeah, like these sort of like things that are happening like globally, you know, where people are like, all right, we're separating ourselves.
back
We
to an
don't want to be,
isolationist
yeah,
mentality.
yeah, and it's just like just doesn't make sense to me.
It is wild because those are like things we learned about in our textbooks when we were kids, and it really felt like, especially during the Obama administration, like we were progressing.
Yeah,
Even though he
to
was
some extent,
killing everybody with drones.
Yeah.
Like it felt like we were like, and then all
was
these
a little
old
hopeful.
words from like the past are resurfacing, and it's like, oh yeah, Russia's still fucking the way it is.
Yeah.
North Korea's still the way it is. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, all right. And here we
It's
are,
just
also separated.
the social pendulum, man. It's just
Yeah.
always swinging back and forth.
Totally.
And the more extreme it swings in one direction, it has to swing in the other direction, and it seems
it seems.
of natural. But it is like, you know, could we get that thing to stop moving and just
Yeah,
be-
can't we balance?
Could we just be right in the middle? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible, but
International Peace Day? Huh?
Yeah.
No bombs?
yeah,
Drop
I don't know,
no
man.
bombs. One of the most disgraceful things you can do, I think, dropping bombs.
Yeah,
But then again, like, so here's where they're maybe not evil, because they're sitting around and they think it's one of those mentalities maybe where it's like, kill 25,000 to save 1 million, you know?
yeah,
But that's not true. It's business, man.
yeah.
It's literally like business deals,
I think
and
war
like
is
like wild, intricate networks of like private companies just working behind the scenes. The black network of the fucking military-industrial complex, right?
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
It's just
It's
money.
so
It's just
complicated.
people know that they can make money off all this shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, thousands of people, innocent families, are dying. And fucking everybody's caught in the middle of the nonsense.
Yeah, no, it's very strange, man, and it's so complex and
I
you
think
know,
it's less to do with governments and more to do with private companies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's like unstoppable.
that's sort of what's funding the government.
It's an unstoppable, invisible force. Journalism can't stop it. They have teams of people fighting the journalists, killing the journalists, but just discrediting the journalists and just getting them arrested and shit.
Yeah,
So like nobody even knows about it, and the reporting is less and less on it, and it's like that's literally the biggest problem. It's just this like all these secret companies doing, and some of them aren't secret. They're out in the open,
Yeah.
but you just don't even know how to look for them. There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
thousands of them, and they're operating out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah. It's just I don't know. It's
Like drone strikes are carried out from the Midwest. Some of them, not all of them, but like
yeah.
some white dude sitting at a computer in the Midwest is fucking killing somebody in the Middle East. Sometimes,
Word. Yeah, I don't know. I also like I'm not the most informed. You know, like
I'm
I wish
not,
I was
I'm not
more
either.
informed.
I'm not
but
either. I get some of it from like my roommate and my
Yeah.
books. I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
informed, man. I've been pretty
I
tuned
mean,
out. Honestly, like I'm guilty of being super complacent since Trump was elected.
Yeah,
Just like
I mean, it's sort of like a self-help thing too. Like if you
to tune out.
Yeah, it's sort of like a natural way to deal with these things, I think. But I don't know. I'm trying to be more informed, but at the same time, it's like how informed do you have to be in order to recognize that these things aren't right? You know what I mean?
I don't think you have to be informed at
like-
all. I think
exactly.
It's just,
It's
is that
like-
what you're saying?
Yeah, well,
They're not right.
that's
Just-
one thing that I was saying. Like in Paris, you know, people ask me like, "Oh, like you're like politically driven." Da, 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 da. And I'm like I guess so, but I'm more on the side of like, you know, humanitarianism.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's like,
I'm more
fuck the
about, like,
politics, man. I don't care about
I like the
left, right,
the
nothing.
global connection. It's like
yeah,
we're all
it's like
connected.
we're
This whole
people.
planet's
Yeah,
interconnected.
yeah, and it's like families shouldn't be getting separated. Like these things should not be happening. It's like
Everything kind of has an effect on
how-
something else.
Yeah. How political do you have to be to recognize that black people shouldn't be shot in the street for holding a cell phone? Like, has nothing to do with politics. It just has to do with like being a fucking human being and being like, okay, like this is
pretty
wrong.
black and white.
Yeah,
It's pretty
this
black
is
and white.
fucking wrong. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm interested in politics, but at the same time, totally uninterested.
I'm
know?
interested only from a filmmaking perspective. Like, how do I tell a good story? Because the second you're like, it's just mind numbing. It's depressing. That's where the hopelessness comes from. That's, I think, the news itself it spreads that hopelessness. But like, just the fact that all these politicians out there who represent these corporations, it's just like that's where the true hopelessness comes in.
No, definitely.
All that shit gets me angry.
Yeah, it gets me angry too. I will say though, one of the positive aspects is it's a great time to be an artist, man, and to speak up against these things in ways that other people can't. Like I'm always thinking, am I gonna go be one of 10,000 people who are gonna go out and protest and stuff? Like, yeah, I would love to do that, but at the same time, like I have this opportunity to use my voice in a different way, and that's sort of like where my focus has been, is like I'm not gonna post on Instagram about this or that or like my political opinions. I'm gonna like sit in my studio and like think about like how I could actually like make change happen, you know what I mean? Like
not just
through my particular brand.
Raising money and
my particular brand of expression, and I don't know if it's like the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it. I have no idea, but it just, I don't know, it feels right to me. So that's what I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thanking you right now for it.
Thank you.
It's inspiring me. I need to get up off my complacent ass and do something. And I think making little Twitter Trump stickers isn't enough.
Yeah.
I had a moment with my roommate was in on it too, and one of my friends in LA. We were like, let's fucking do this. Let's make a bunch of political satire.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, a lot of things psyched me out. Like, I literally got psyched out. Like, first of all, it's just a ton of work to stay up to date on everything,
It's a full-time
and
job.
Second of all, it's like, it's kind of intimidating to, like, actively go and spread, like, mean shit to spread to hopefully spread positive change. You're, like, being mean, that's a weird thing. That's what's in me. I'm just naturally like that. But like to like really go after political figures though, it's kind of scary. Like they could come back after you, maybe. Not that would happen.
Yeah.
But more than anything, it's just like it's just you got to wake up and do that every day too, and it's hard. And like I don't know about you, but my sensibility probably like even though it goes there, that's a crazy discipline, and it's easier to wake up and just draw an odd creature or something like that sometimes. And like
I will say that like as far as like political work, everyone. Trump is elected and every artist is making fuck Trump. Trump is
everybody's
a
got
turd.
their version of it.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is surface level,
Trump
man.
is one dude, yeah.
This is not addressing real issues. You're just calling people names. Like, even yesterday I posted the first little promotional thing for the show. And I hashtagged, like, fuck Trump or something. And some account was like, yeah, fuck Trump with, like, a Putin-shaped dildo. And I was like... like, yeah, I feel you, but also like this is not really helping anything. And like that's one of the reasons why I did the show in Paris too, is because a lot of the political work that I see coming out is just like so base, it's so surface level, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, yeah, anyone and everyone can fucking draw Trump as a turd. That was a hard sentence to say. Draw Trump as a turd.
Draw Trump as a turd. That's today's hashtag, everybody. Go home and do your homework. Yeah. Draw Trump as a turd.
But it doesn't.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying, man.
It's not enough. It's not the issue. The issue is not that he's a turd.
I get it though. I can't help it. Like, he's just such an easy target, and he's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That you're naturally like it's natural to want to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty useless. It's just giving him more attention, which is something he loves.
Exactly. And
and we need to make real change, which is what you're saying.
Yeah. That's why the show that I did in Paris was like all, each painting was sort of addressing like a different situation, but there was no like portrait of Trump.
You didn't do that.
No, because
have you not done have you not Bocktrapped Trump?
No,
you should though.
Not directly.
You should do one, just because.
I guess, but like, why? What would I do? Like, I don't know. Like, honestly,
I mean, I'm gonna request it. I'm not gonna say you should do anything, but it would be kind of cool. I mean, I love your fucking art. I love your style. One of my favorite things, like you did a security camera. You have a word for it where you bock it. You bock it up.
Bockify it.
Bockify it.
Bock it up.
Bock it up. Fucking, yo, man, Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
You could do.
I don't know. I'd like to think of myself as like a little bit more like subtle than that.
You are
But
more
I
so
feel-
than that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
feel you. I don't know.
yeah, when you do that, it might not be your brand. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why you gotta
Yeah.
maybe not listen to me. Sometimes you need someone to tell you to do something to like strengthen
To
your
not
resolve.
do it. Yeah. No, I don't know. I like maybe I will eventually. You know, like I used to do like shit in high school like that. Like I'd draw the principal. You know, this is actually like
Hell
so
yeah.
funny. Speaking of like style and shit like that, like recognizing people's style. This is a hilarious story. So. We got a new principal in high school, and he installed a tardy machine. So like you were tardy, you had to go to the machine, you had to print out a ticket or whatever, and this was like the new like system that they were using to make sure people weren't tardy, or to keep track of people who were tardy.
What's a new ticket?
Huh?
You said print out a new ticket?
Yeah, print out a ticket. It was like, oh, I'm tardy, so I got to print out this ticket, and I got to
got
give
a
it to my
ticket.
teacher. Like, yo, like
All right.
now it's in the record, like, you know.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
I
we shouldn't say his name. I was gonna say shout him out. But
DeLuna, Mr. DeLuna,
All
I
right,
think his
fine,
name
do it.
was. Yeah, why not? I don't even know if he's still alive. man.
DeLuna, good idea, buddy.
So I drew
That's using your head.
I drew him in a cardboard box, and he was like, you know, I am the tardy machine, beep boop boop, or some shit like that, and I posted it all over the high school. And it was great. It was a big hit, you know.
Yeah.
Not everyone. I don't know. Maybe everyone knew it was me.
I
don't
wish
know.
I did something like that for somebody, man. It's a great way to gain popularity, right?
I don't know if that's what it was about, but
It's a side effect.
and then basically one of my teachers took me aside and was like,
I know.
I know you did it because I could tell you that I'm teaching you and you, you know, like,
It falls out of your bag.
yeah,
I
like
didn't-
it's not me. It's not what it looks like. And she was kind of just like, don't do it again, which I did. I did it again, but yeah, I guess
Oh, yeah, man.
I always kind of been into like trying to disrupt in some way. But that was like some high school shit. You know, I drew him in a cardboard box. It was really like silly and like, and yeah, maybe effective in high school, but I'd like to try and elevate maybe a little bit, not too much. But
I don't know where I stand. I might honestly, you might see some more of this like low level,
You
kid,
should.
kid in high
That's-
school making fun of the bully type of shit, because you know, at the end of the day, like, it is a ton of work, and I am super busy. And if I get an idea, sometimes I just have to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
no,
It's
of
like-
course, and it's better to, if you have the idea, to just get it out there and do it than to not do it. You
It
know,
does
so-
it does frighten me though, because you are taking a sort of like, it is like taking a childish approach to some serious fucking issues.
Yeah.
Or taking a childish approach to something that's distracting from the serious issues, you know. And that's probably one of the biggest problems. It's not just complacency; it's just that we're all so distracted and like occupied with really unimportant
bullshit.
shit.
Yeah, that's another thing that I sort of like been realizing more and more is I'm feeling like super detached, and like a lot of things that I feel like people want me to care about or people think are important, they just don't matter to me, and I can't just keep up the facade of like caring
Yeah.
about things that I don't fucking care about.
Do you mind sharing any of those? Or
W-
you don't have
um,
to. I know exactly. I have plenty of those.
I can't
too,
think of
man.
like a specific, like, I don't know, like people, like there's certain like just mentalities, you know, like people who are like really worried about being like awkward, for instance. This is like a terrible example, but I'd like oh, like it's really odd. Like, okay, for instance, I just like shout out, you know, my sister who I just saw in California when I was there, who I haven't seen in like 15 years. You know, I haven't spoken to her
Whoa,
in 15
man.
years.
Wow.
It's like a weird
So you guys were
situation.
reuniting.
Yeah, and you know, we had dinner and it was great and da da da. And she was like, "Well, this isn't awkward at all." And I was just kind of like, because like it doesn't, like, why does it have to be awkward? Like, you know, being awkward is like a choice. That
I agree. I mean, awkward is like always there. It's always potentially there.
Yeah.
It's always there whether even sometimes it's there when you think it's not there. Too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's just like I don't care
It's
about
like
it.
it's a combination of like we as we grow up, I feel like we like have to develop our cool, you know.
Yeah.
Which I think as artists living in New York City, we do it whether
Yeah.
we're conscious of it or not.
You have to.
But then you grow up too, and it's like that shit literally doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's
yeah, I
another
mean-
thing too. You know, like even in like the music scene, you know, I used to be like super entrenched in like the underground hip hop scene because I was working with this collective and da 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 da. and like all the crews, and like they think they're all cool and shit. And now I go to rarely I go to a show or whatever, and I'm just like, yo, like listen, like, hey, what's up? I just say hi to everyone and like, hey, cool, like we could all
what that makes you.
get along.
It makes you
and
cooler, man.
Maybe I
With an
guess I
attitude
don't
like
know.
that.
It's just like I don't care. Like I don't care. Like I would
Having the
rather.
not care attitude makes you super cool, man. That's a fact.
I guess so. Yeah.
It's
I
like-
guess I would rather just see people succeed at what they want to do, especially
Yeah.
if they're
Hell yeah.
talented and they deserve it, and I see them working hard.
Yeah,
and
man. I love supporting people and artists and friends.
exactly.
Yeah, and making new friends. and
Exactly.
contacts and
That's
shit.
why I love to do these shows with musicians too. Is
Yeah.
even if it's not really helping them, it's like
It is helping them.
maybe,
every little
yeah,
bit, man.
maybe. I don't know. I just like there's just particular things that I can't force myself to care about anymore, because it's just more energy that I should be
I mean,
using
for me,
somewhere else.
For me, it's like our culture's so superficial, and like I can't really. I haven't been into sports in years for many reasons, and one of them is just I'm too busy. But another is like, I don't know, it's just so artificial and ridiculous. It's like,
yeah.
I like so I want to be entrenched in other things. I can't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
And then like with music, because I'm like you, I know a lot of musicians. I love music, and as you know, I've made a bunch of music videos.
Yeah.
But I have to admit that's a very superficial aspect to our culture, like the trying to be a musician, trying to like bring this image up, get the the corporate branding and logos and everything, and do that, and like get super famous because of what your attitude is. Again, cool. Like that's, but we are in the cool business as artists. It's like
Yeah.
you
Sorry,
have
I have to.
you have to acknowledge it, right? So here's where I sing. I'm gonna sing a little song about Trump. You're a piece of shit, Mr. Trump, and we hate you.
I have to check on
I could just cut it too.
the
I'm-
printer for the tote bags is texting me,
Oh,
like
yeah?
making sure that I'm cool with the design and shit. So I gotta
And you're verbally abusing them. Just print it faster.
yeah, like do it quick. No, I actually shout out Sam Seeger.
Is it silk screening?
Yeah, silk screening. He works for Made in Brooklyn Silkscreen, which is really great spot that prints shit if anyone ever needs. Let me make sure that Made in Brooklyn silk screeners. He always does all my t-shirts, all my jobs and shit like that, so he's great.
This is hustling right here. Ryan Bock is putting
I
together a
know.
fundraiser.
I gotta
He's
be on
painting
top
bricks.
of my shit.
He's
you
on
know?
a podcast and simultaneously talking to a guy making tote bags for the show. It's badass, man.
Thanks, man.
Gotta get that merch up.
Gotta
make all
do
that
it,
shit.
man. Gotta do it. But honestly, I'm kind of done with merch too.
Have you
T-shirts
been selling stuff?
Yeah.
Art?
Yeah.
Not merch?
This year, I'm like super fortunate. I've been doing fairly well. Every show that I've done, I've sold work. I've been making money, which is like
Yeah.
wow, I can make money doing this. Like
Yeah.
this is fucking amazing.
That's what it's about.
And I mean nothing
I wish,
crazy, but
I wish we didn't live in a capitalist society and there was some other like motivating factor. But
Yeah.
it feels goddamn good to do like shit you like and make money for it.
yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
the best fucking
and
feeling.
that's another thing that going back to things I don't care about is like this whole like stigma of making money and like are you selling out or like it's interesting because I'm listening to Chris Carr, and I'm always your talk with him, and I'm always super interested in what he's saying and what he's up to,
He's interesting. Yeah, he's right on the line. And I'm like with him, but I know I'm gonna be quicker to take money. And do shit that
Exactly,
he wouldn't
exactly.
do.
And
He's like a
I'm-
moral compass in a way. but
yeah, and
obviously we can't all live
I'm just
exactly like him.
yeah, and I would say I'm exactly the opposite. Like, it's not about making money to me, but if I make money, then I can move forward and do bigger and better things, and that's like what it's about for me. Like, I can't do what I want to do with no money.
Yeah, man.
It's just not possible, and
Man,
I want to
I'm
grow.
I'm all about it, man.
Yeah.
I took business classes a few years ago that I'm still.
word.
I haven't like synthesized it all yet, but I recommend that to artists. It's like
yeah.
yeah.
No, it's
I went
real.
on his podcast or his radio show, not radio, And he was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a debate about this because I was recommending that artists take business classes. And
Yeah.
I absolutely do. And there's free ones. You know, I'm not saying go to business school.
Yeah.
Take it's free online.
The more
the
you
SBA
know.
is an association. You can take cheaper free business classes through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
the more you know, the better.
what
And
you don't know will bite you in the ass,
Yeah.
or just will leave you in the lurch. You won't get paid. You won't move forward. You won't progress.
and there's there's a reason why, in particular, the arts, the business aspect is so like mystified. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason for that, is because people take advantage of artists, and it's unfortunate, but it's super
there's
true.
a reason beyond like artists just being creative.
They don't
people
want
who
you
don't
to
want
know.
deal with it.
They don't want
There's
you to
literally-
understand.
it's like a not a monopoly, a fucking conspiracy. In a way, right?
Exactly. Can you imagine if like I could go out and be my own representation and be my own gallery, and it would put a lot of people out of business.
People. Yeah.
Exactly. So
technically, I don't want to say it because I want to get representation, but they're in the middle.
yeah, middle
between
middle
you and
people.
your audience.
Yeah, middle
Yeah.
people. No, it's absolutely true. And
But
that doesn't
they can
mean
come up with
that
a lot
all
of ways to make money, and
Yeah.
I'm curious about that too. Like, how many ways can we split this piece, this painting? You know? Like,
Yeah, and that's not to say that everyone is out, trying to take advantage of you or anything like that. But I think
there's some great people who have galleries and
of course,
companies and whatever.
But
yeah.
but I do think that the industry takes advantage of young,
Absolutely.
inexperienced artists all the time.
Yeah.
In every industry.
Yeah.
Fuck visual art in every industry.
Yeah. I mean, it's the pay-to-play thing. It's like, if you're not known, we can just take your money. That's one way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's probably 1,000 ways that people
Yeah,
can
no,
take advantage of.
Yeah, there's 100 ways, and that's why I at least am making an effort to learn the sort of ins and outs of art business and this sort of thing, is because, do I want to do that myself? Not necessarily, but do I want to know about it so that I know when I'm working with someone if they're fucking me over? Absolutely. And I agree with you. I think, listen, the more you learn, the more rounded of a person and an artist you become, and I think it's important to know the market, to know like where you stand.
Were you? I mean, I know I was like this. Were you like that kind of kid or that kind of artist too, who was like, yeah, doing that business is bullshit. I don't want to have anything to do with it. It's selling out. Were you like that? Were you like this?
I had
it's
some
horrible. I don't
thoughts
need it.
about. Yeah, I had some thoughts about this sort of thing, and I guess I really struggled. I have weird hang-ups, or I have had weird hang-ups about making money, and being successful, or like selling out. Yeah. But the older I get and the more time I spend doing this, the more I realize like these things don't really exist. Like, I mean, yeah, they exist. You can sell out for sure. But if I do a corporate job and make money from that, and then put that money into something that I really care about, like, no, it's not selling out. Like, sometimes you have to do these things.
I think
and
it's on a very case-by-case basis.
Yeah,
it's literally
that
just
as well. Like, obviously, if it's something totally out of left field and the exact opposite of like your mentality or whatever, you don't do it. But if you find something that matches, or something that you can stand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong. There's no, like, unfortunately, this is the society that we live in, and like, either you're gonna play the game or you're not, and like, I'm at a point where I'm happy to play the game, and I'm learning to love playing the game, because that's what I have to do to be successful, and I'm not gonna waste my time doing this and not being successful, because I think I deserve more than that, like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And
I think this is good talk for any, like, because I think it's common with art kids to have that mentality. It's good for them to hear it.
Yeah. And like, I haven't even
take our advice. I know we sound like old farts right now, but like, the longer you wait, it's gonna hurt you. You're gonna wish you did it sooner.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And no, I'm kicking myself because I've never even really done like I've never partnered with any brands. I've never done really corporate. Like, I've done some things similar to that, but like, no, brands don't approach me. Like,
You haven't done anything like that.
no, because they don't know what they're gonna get. Like, I'm like a wild card, you know. Like, even, you know, I don't have mixed feelings, but I had a conversation with like a Nike person in Paris, and yeah, I was like, yeah, no brands ever hire me. Like, super honest about it, you know? And one of the guys at the gallery was like, why the fuck did you say that? And I was like, I don't know, man. Because I don't.
Again, though, that's part of your cool, man. I think
Like,
when I think of what you're saying right there, it reminds me of like ex-girlfriends or like my mom or something. Like, don't do that. Like, it's like, but actually, we got this thing going. But like, just have a little faith that we know what we're doing.
Yeah,
over
I
here.
would like.
We know how to play the game.
Like, would I take the money? Yes. Am I gonna like
maybe that Nike guy wanted
bend
you
over
more,
backwards?
You know, like
yeah.
like
I'm not
those
bending over
guys.
backwards for
Everybody
anyone.
wants Nike. If you're like too eager, they're not going to want you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying about being a jumper too. You know what I mean? Is like,
Make them wait.
if people see that you're hungry, you're thirsty,
Keep them
to a
thirsty.
certain extent, they're gonna be like, oh, like, we don't
Yeah.
want to fuck with you. If you're just like, man,
You got to twist the table. Was it twist the table?
And-
Twist. What am I trying to say?
twist the knob.
Turn
I don't
the
know.
tap. Fuck
Turn
it.
the
You know what I'm saying? Turn the tables.
turn the taffy. I don't know, but
Fucking.
and that's like been, I will say that's been like incredibly difficult for me as well, is because I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, as an artist, you making something that's an extension of you, and it's to me it's everything. It's everything. I don't care about anything but doing what I do, and it's emotional, and you are attached, and it's like, but the more detached you can become from that, the better you're gonna be. Really, like.
Well, do you mean that like? Would you agree that it's not that you need to become detached from it 100%? You need to have, it's like compartmentalizing. It's like you have to have that part of you that's super passionate.
That's a
and
better.
then you're able to switch. Like, now we're going to think about the business because we need to bring in the money. Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Well, it's not. To
rent's
me,
due.
it's like, no matter how excited it takes a lot for me to have like a physical outburst of like excitement. Like, yes, oh my god. Like, I'm not like that anymore, because I've been
sadly,
crushed
me too,
a million
man.
times,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, yo, listen, like.
If I'm
So
like,
many
if
people
I'm like
wave
that, I'm
shit in your
probably
face. Fair enough. So many people wave shit in your face all the time when you're an artist.
Yeah.
I think 5% of people that say that they're gonna buy a piece from me, or I'm sorry, yeah, 5% of people.
You get a lot of people saying
what
they
am I
want to
saying?
buy it,
Exactly,
but they never
exactly.
follow through. Well,
5%
that's a hard
actually.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. 5% of people that say they're gonna buy something from me actually buy something from me. So when people come to me and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this," I'm just like, okay, like.
So how do you? That's what I'm always wondering. Like, I definitely, I every time I launch something, I'm like, I know this isn't going to be an overnight success. I know this is going to be like everything else. Is going to be like years of building.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I want to get better at. It's like, how do I make that sale? How do I connect that? You know, it's like, because I do believe they will buy it.
Yeah,
but you don't
yeah.
want to be like super pestery or annoying.
You can't.
But it's
You
like,
can't be.
I guess like my approach right now is just make sure like everything is like all my websites and everything are just like making it as easy as possible to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
you gotta
super
push,
hard, man.
You gotta push, but not too much.
Yeah. You
And
don't wanna be
there's
too
so many
annoying.
different tactics too. You know, like this is really interesting in Paris, seeing how. By the way, shout out Ground Effect, the gallery in Paris that I've been working with. They're all super great dudes. They're hilarious. And they have a whole system. So, you know, there's like 10 people working, more than 10 people working. And there's
For the
like,
gallery?
Yeah. And there's like 4 people who are in sales, and they each have a different tactic of selling, and they profile each collector, and they say, okay, this guy's going to be susceptible to this tactic. You go and handle this portion or whatever. And I'm sitting there watching like, yo, like some of these kids are like 22 years old. And I'm just like, sitting there like absorbing it, you know, and that this aspect to me is becoming super interesting, because like I said before, you could be so talented and you could stay in your room your whole life and no one would fucking know that you're talented. And for some people that's fine.
That's an
and
overly
they don't care.
romanticized view that I think holds people back. I'm not into that.
Yeah,
Put
me
yourself
neither.
out there.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to be a public person,
Yeah.
that's a whole different debate. But get your fucking art out there. I mean, come
Yeah,
on. There's like
yeah.
the idiot savant thing or like the outsider art thing. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But most of the people who are making that argument, like I'm just doing it for music, it's like you're not that. So like stop hiding yourself away.
Or even if that's what they want, like I don't, whatever. Like I'm just not gonna apply that to myself because that's
Yeah.
not what I want. I
Yeah,
want
guess you
people to
gotta-
see
it's a personal
what I
thing. You
do.
can't
Yeah,
shit on
yeah.
it too hard, but
Like
it bothers me. I'm like, come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
get your stuff out
Especially
there. You're
because
just
some of
being
these
afraid
people-
and cowardly.
some of these people who I like that are like the most talented.
Right.
They're making the most interesting work, and that's like, I set up, I helped install a booth at the Outsider Art Fair, this last year, and so I was at the opening and da 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 da.
You helped like your own booth or some? You
No,
helped set
someone else's
thing?
booth. I just installed the work,
Mhm.
and the work there. Granted, it's all relatively affordable, but this shit was flying off the walls. I've never seen work sell like this before. I'm just walking around and shit is literally coming off the wall. Like shit is selling, and I'm like,
I just worked the Armory show and the Freeze Art Fair.
Yeah.
I got into both of those, and I was so curious. Like I could tell some things were selling, but it's so like that's like a not very that world is so not transparent. you
No,
know? It's
not
like-
at all. And it's hilarious. I love
Yeah.
going to the fairs and shit because it is the most
I should be careful what I
commercial-
say because I want to get rehired, maybe depending on where I'm at next year.
Bring me.
But, like, but it's so surreal, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so surreal.
I'll do those jobs just to see.
I
what
felt
the
like
fuck
I
is
was.
happening
I felt
behind
like
them.
I was super high, and
Yeah.
I wasn't at all. I was like totally sober. I mean, it's like celebrities on top of like union people. It's like
Yeah.
this really weird like.
It's such an
mashup of
interesting.
things, you know?
It's such an interesting world, and like, yeah, you could say all day like, oh fuck that shit, da 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 da, but it's probably because you're not involved and you want to be involved.
I admit
know?
it fully. Yeah, I was like, I want it. I didn't think I did, and then here I am feeling all kinds of like jealous and weird and angry and resentful. But I learned to cope with it in several ways, and one of them was like you look around and it's kind of cool. Like Jeffrey Deutsch, is that his name?
Jeffrey
and, like,
Deitch.
and like all these like high-end gallery people, they're on display.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to just walk around and be like, you're like
It's so
you're like in a
interesting.
little cube right here. So it's like, all right,
I'm-
everybody has to put themselves out on display sometimes.
I met Jeffrey Deitch, and I was eating a cookie.
Yeah.
And I just had like the whole fucking cookie in my mouth, and he was like, "Oh, hello," and I was like, "Oh,
I'm Bock. I'm Bockhaus.
yeah, no, not even." I was just like, "Oh, hello," and it's like that's how
Like
I
you
wanna,
got like, was he looking at your art?
No, not at all. Like
You just
I was with
walking
someone who
past
knew
him.
him. She was like, "Oh, and meet like my friend Ryan," and I was like, "Oh, I'm a cookie monster."
That's the best.
But that's how I'm trying to play the game.
I'm sure you're underplaying it, and it was actually you were being cool about it. I bet you were being mad.
I
cool
was
about it,
eating a
knowing
cookie.
you.
Like that's how I want. That's how I play the game. Like really, like that's how I prefer.
kind of not by the rules.
Yo,
little subversive.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, like I'm not gonna excuse my
Your
French. I'm not
your
gonna
game is
suck
to
anyone's
make it
dick.
your game,
Yeah, I'm
right?
not gonna suck anyone's dick. Like, yo, one of the best connections I ever had. I known him.
I'll eat pussy though.
Huh?
I'm not sucking dick, but I'll eat pussy.
Yeah, fair enough. Me too. But but one of the best connections I ever made. I met him. Super aloof. I won't say rude, whatever, but like off. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's fine. There's nothing I can say or do right now to make this guy care. He sees my face. Cool. A year goes by, and I know the placement of my work. He's seeing it. That's fine. It's a slow.
I thought you were talking about
build.
one person. You're talking about that's
I'm
your
talking
strategy.
about one person. Yeah, but this is
But
one
you
of the
are-
best.
And you are talking about one person.
Yeah, and this is one of the best, strategies I had. And like, and you know what ended up happening? He contacted someone that I was working with, and he was like, "Yo, who does this?" Because I had a nightmare about this last night, and it was my work. He had a nightmare about my work, and I was like, "Yes."
Oh, he
This is-
literally did.
Yeah. He contacted someone that I was working with, like, "Yo, who made this? Who does the
That's-
shadow figures?"
That's like
'Cause
the
I had
greatest compliment. That would weird some people
Exactly.
out, but if someone's having
No,
a
no,
nightmare
I
about your art,
loved it.
that's fucking
I'm like,
awesome.
yo, this is
Yeah.
like the psychological type of shit that I'm trying to do. Like,
That means you're in his
fuck the-
subconscious.
fuck the immediate connection is never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You have to show up 100 times, not yourself, your work, whatever.
That's why you're helping those artists at this fundraiser, because that's, even if it's one thing and maybe they make no money, maybe they don't actually even make a meaningful connection there. There is one meaningful connection there, you know? There's probably thousands.
Yeah. No. I mean, and it's, I don't know.
And it is showing up all the time, just being fucking
Yeah,
super regular about it.
Just
Consistent.
like, and then after that, still nothing, He got in touch with me. He said, I want to give you this wall. I said, okay, great. Didn't happen. Fine. But every time I do something, I send him an email. I say, hey, look, I just did this. What do you think? And
So
then he took me
nothing's
to
come
Miami
from
last
nothing
year.
Oh, he took you to Miami?
Yeah, and that's
Do you
how I got in the
do you have like a
Juxtapose,
mailing list or like a Excel sheet that you keep of like things like that?
I wish I was that organized. I
I'm
have
starting.
like a list.
I'm starting to like with actually doing this podcast is like it's great because I'm suddenly I'm cataloging you. Even though I'm sure that's not what you want to hear, but that's like it's like
fine,
you need
right?
a mailing list. And it's like this needs to just translate into my mailing list. I'm starting to realize how I'm going to connect that
all
to
has to be
like
connected,
all the business stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like super important. You gotta just and you gotta like keep notes. It's like all right, this was the last interaction I just had with them, and it was like it went like that. And maybe you don't need to tell everybody you're doing that. You probably shouldn't because that's kind of not cool. It's not going to add to the mystique and the charm. But like
it depends on how transparent you're trying to be. And like personally, I'm super transparent, probably to a fault. You know what I mean?
you think you are?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm way too honest.
I think
I get
I'm-
myself
I'm
in trouble
going that
all
way,
the time
yeah.
because I just say shit. I'm like, yo, this is what it is, and people are like,
That's the way I want to live.
Like,
I want to
what?
speak my mind more. I want to get to a point where I can say almost anything. you know?
I think you have to. But anyways, this is just all like very. To me, this is like. I love making the work, and that's like number one for me. But I'm making it so that this other aspect is number two. You know what I mean? And it's like the hard. Like making the work is fun. It's it can be challenging, but it's like I love to do it. This shit is like the part that's a little more difficult, doesn't come as naturally, but like just trying to work at it and figure out like, okay, how can I how can I maneuver myself in these situations to where I'm benefiting? And it's like manipulative, but at the same time it's like
You're not manipulating people out of money. You're not manipulating people in situations where they have to make poor ethical or moral decisions. You're manipulating people into appreciating your fucking awesome art. And there's no shame in it.
Word.
I'm all about the no shame self-promotion.
No, I have
hard
I have
and,
very
like,
little shame.
Yeah. You have a thing too where like you've done theater and things like that, but part of your thing is you put the bag over your head, right? And like
I used to do
you don't
that.
like to show your face, but you don't like to show your face.
Yeah, I always hide my face. That's another thing too. That's actually hilarious.
It's part of the branding or part of the character or something, right?
Yeah. Well, people will know me personally and know my work. And not connected for sometimes a long time. Like the Gabriel Garzon Montano, who I did the music video for, knew him, and he knew my work. And then I forget like what happened, and he was all of a sudden like, "Oh, like that's you that does that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." But you don't know because I don't ever show my face.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that hinders me or not. Like I feel like maybe I would be doing a lot better if I showed my face. But
I think the face says. I mean, like you post a selfie, it gets more likes than other shit.
See, I don't have that problem.
It's like a weird fact, but I don't know if it's hindering you, man. It depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like I kind of have like the filmmaker who also kind of like even dreamed of being an actor in me. So like I'm hammy as fuck, and I like showing my face and shit.
Yeah,
I haven't been doing much of that at all. Actually, like my Instagram right now is pretty.
Yeah.
Black and white art.
Well, people also like, depending on how you present yourself is what people expect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know like a lot of like women artists who have sort of like come to the conclusion like, oh, like people are just fucking with my shit because I'm like attractive or something like that, and they have to sort of like change the way they present themselves online for it to be about the art, you know what I mean? And this is like it's like a weird thing, but it's just something I've never had to deal with.
I say capitalize on it though. If you're beautiful, male or female, or you know, non-binary,
there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, just use everything to your advantage.
But
if
it just
you want
depends.
To.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the way you do it. It's like a thing.
Thank you.
It's your thing.
Yeah. People really give me a hard time sometimes about it too. They're like, "Why don't you show your face?" And I'm just like,
does your mom want you to show your face?
No, my mom doesn't care.
Your mom is mad cool, right? Like
my
super
mom is
supportive.
very cool. Yeah, she's really amazing. Shout out Rakan.
She was at that music video festival that we met at, I think, if I remember correctly.
I think they did come.
Yeah,
people
my parents will
weed
show
and
up
shit
to,
in there.
My parents showed up to I think 2 of those, and like surprised. I was like, because I try to tell them like not to come to some things. I'm at this point where like if they want to come to anything, they're always welcome because they're getting older. I'm getting older. I don't care about being cool anymore.
Yeah.
But like I try to let them know like this is one of those weed things. You know? But every now and then they show up like to fucking Chris Carr events, and it's like I feel like Chris Carr doesn't remember, but every time he sees him, he's like, "Those are your parents are here." It's like, and of course he's open-minded, but I think he's also a little bit like, "God damn it, he brought the parents shit."
Yeah, that's hilarious. No, my parents are both like super supportive, and like honestly, I probably wouldn't be like where I would not be where I'm at like without my parents.
Same, man. My parents have given me so much. Man.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really I'm like super like.
I just want to say my mom too.
Hashtag blessed.
You're invited to everything, Mom. Like she was. This is her favorite thing I've ever done. This podcast. I know
really?
She hasn't really told me.
Oh,
but the feedback I'm getting from her, it's like you love this podcast.
She's commenting and stuff.
Yeah, because she's like supportive
so
and loves
cute,
me,
man.
but I don't think she's ever like really loved my art necessarily.
Yeah.
But like this podcast, she gets it. She's like,
that's cool. That's really cool.
She understands what it's about.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, man.
I'm trying to get more people to like.
To the parents,
I want more feedback from other people though.
Yeah.
Like if you're listening to this, please let me know what you're thinking. Because right now my mom is the only one commenting.
That's so funny. Yeah. No, it'll pop off, man. Like I think just keep doing it.
I'm not gonna.
That's the only way we could fail, man, is if we quit. Yeah. Really, like.
I try to maintain like I can't fail because if I did it, I succeeded just alone. You know, it's like corny, but
no, it's true.
If I made my art,
if you're learning from it,
I succeeded.
Yeah,
you know,
so many scenarios where I've been like, yo, this shit was crazy. Like I barely made it through, but like I learned so. Like my worst experiences, I've learned the most from.
Oh man, we're getting close to like an hour and 30 minutes here. Can I hear any of those, or do you not want to talk shit?
No, I'll talk shit all day.
Or you don't even have to talk shit. Can you just
my worst shit?
Give us some insights into some shitty scenarios.
I mean,
learn from your mistakes.
The worst shit. They're gonna. I won't say any names because I know they watch.
Yeah, don't
all
do that.
This shit. It's fine. So I did a show. No, I met a lady. I don't even know where to start because it's a long, intense story. I met a lady. She sort of became my manager, very strange lady, and slowly realized that she was just like unhinged and like kind of a crazy person. But she landed me like a show. It was like the biggest show that I'd ever done. It was at a gallery, Lower East Side. This story is like way too long, but basically, I'm trying to like abbreviate, and it's really difficult. Basically, she got me the show. I'm working in the studio, and I'm still working with Apostrophe. And at the time, we're doing all these like guerrilla pop-ups. So we did one in the Whitney. You know, we just go in, we hang our work in a non-obtrusive way,
cool.
and sort of wait for the response.
I think you told me. I always want to do that shit. I always fucking.
Yeah. It was great. It was a great experience. But she hated that. She hated that. She
hated that you did that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't do it with her. You did it yourself.
No.
She
It was with
found
Apostrophe. I was working with Apostrophe and her.
Did. Okay.
And she hated it. She was like, "Oh, you're fucking up your whole shit by doing this." And I was like, I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, whatever. But so these scenarios would happen, and I'm working in the studio on the work for this show, and she'd call me and she'd be like, "Show is canceled. Show is canceled." So every couple of days, or I just wouldn't do something that she wanted me to do, and she would hold that over my head. She was extremely manipulative,
super controlling, huh?
Yeah, and like really, really intense. Like I was having like nervous breakdowns every day. She'd call me at like 10:30 in the morning every day, and like it was just really intense. And it basically ended up a lot of shit happened. The show opened. It was super successful.
Sold some work.
I actually sold like a lot of work out of my studio. Thank God, because that's what funded the whole show. And the one painting that I sold at the gallery, they didn't give me the money for. So this was like a whole like con artist kind of situation, but it wasn't a lot of money. So I don't really get the point. Anyways, ended up we stopped working together the night after the show opened because I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Like you made the decision. It was too
They
stressful.
made me sign something that was like, if you back out of the show, you're gonna have to pay us like $5,000 or some crazy shit like that. So I was like, yo, listen, like I will pay that money to not work with you anymore because I can't do this. Like I physically, mentally cannot do this anymore. The gallery owner sort of took pity on me and was like, listen, like we'll keep the show up. You don't have to pay. Like I'll work with you. Then she was like, no, you're not going to work with him, da 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 da. He was like, okay, I can't work with you, but here's like the gallery assistant who will work with you. So I'm my own sales representative. I'm doing everything at this show. I'm there every fucking day myself, trying to do this, whatever. She ended up breaking into the space 2 days before the show was over. Okay, wait, let me backtrack. She bought one painting for me, a big painting, which helped pay for the whole show. And I, somewhere throughout this time, I said, okay, I'm going to borrow the money and give her back her money because I don't want her to have my painting. It was like that bad. It was like, I don't want you to have my work. Like, I will give you your money back. I borrowed that money. I had the check. I came in second to last day of the show, and the gallery assistant was there, and he said, oh, she came in looking for her check. And I said, oh, okay, well, I have it. And he was like, okay, well, just give it to me or whatever. I don't remember the scenario. And I said, did she go downstairs? My show was downstairs in the basement. Did she go downstairs? He said, no, she didn't go downstairs. I said, okay, cool. I go downstairs. There's a big blank, 2 paintings gone from downstairs. So I'm like, okay. And I go back upstairs and I'm like, yo, my man, like, my paintings are gone. And he's like, what? He's like freaking out. Like, what are you talking about? So I had to go down there. The paintings are gone. All this da-da-da-da-da. So then I do some like real, like, this was like some Game of Thrones shit. The entire time was like really some Game of Thrones shit. So I was like, all right, listen, like, I called the gallery owner. I happened to know that they didn't have a C of O and certificate of occupancy in the basement, so they couldn't throw events down there. So I said, yo, my man, listen, if my paintings aren't back here tomorrow morning, I'm going to call the police and I'm going to shut your whole shit down. This whole operation, done. He said, please don't do that. Your paintings will be back. Da-da-da-da-da. I come back the next morning. The paintings are there. I gave her check. Done-ish.
Nice. Fuck yeah, man. A strong artist, dude.
Bro,
Don't let yourself get taken advantage of.
After that experience, bro, I had to go to therapy, all this different stuff, because I was fucked up. Basically, to be honest with you...
How old were you when that happened?
26, 25, 26, I don't know.
That's young. That's fucking young to have to go through that.
Yeah. No, listen, bro, I was really fucked up. And I was like, this is my first major show. Is this what this is like? You know, is this what I'm going to be dealing with for the rest of my life? And I had like a lot of like problems dealing with that. To be honest with you, she wanted to have sex with me, and I wouldn't have sex with her. And that's like when
I was gonna make the bad joke. Did you eat the pussy?
No. No, I definitely did not. I was not. It was not a situation like that. Yeah. But she definitely wanted to have sex with me, and I was like, I'm not with that. And this actually gave me a lot of insight into like what women have to deal with like in the workplace and shit like that. And I was like, whoa, this is really fucked up.
Yeah, I've never had that. I've never had that happen to me yet.
Yeah,
you'd think with my good looks that it would be happening left and right.
I mean, I don't know, bro. But
yeah, it happens way more to women, obviously, than men.
Yeah. So, but basically, that entire experience, which lasted for about only 3 months, so that all this shit happened, like, it was a lot, man. Like, and I was like I was not like well from that. Like, I lost mad weight. Man. I thought I had like a pancreatic eruption or some shit. Like I had like pain that just ended up being like because my back and my body was just so fucking tense.
Yeah, man. We do it to ourselves.
Yeah, like I went to the doctor. I was like, yo, like I think
overall
something like ruptured. Like I gotta, whatever.
But it was just stress making you feel type of
It was just stress. And basically, after that experience, it's like, yo, any scenario so far at least comes up, there's no problem. We work through it. It's fine. Like that, like before that, I was like very emotional and like angry all the time, and like, and that like cooled me down a lot because I was like, yo, shit could be like this much worse.
Right.
And like to do a show now, like I'm addicted to doing shows. Like really, like the adrenaline and like the push to get everything done by the date.
I need
like,
to get some of that from you.
Yeah, like yo, like after a show, like I get super depressed. Like now,
Yeah, I mean when you're finished with something.
yeah. Now I have it worked out so that
You're just done with the next thing.
Immediately I'm like, okay, that's even before that's done, I'm already on the next one.
Filling the void with more art making is actually a really healthy way to fill the void.
I have to do that because
it's better than alcohol, smoking weed, snorting cocaine.
I mean, all that stuff helps too, but
sucking dicks and licking pussies. Like, don't do that. Make the art.
Yeah.
All that other shit's gonna make you depressed.
Yeah. No, it's really true. And so I'm sure that she's gonna probably hear this. I'm super grateful that happened.
Hey, I want to say,
and she's still out there.
For everyone out there who's like that, we artists, we creative people, we talk and we we're not naming names. We don't do that on my show. We don't try to out people on my show, except for Trump. Fuck Trump. But we talk, so just get your shit together.
And this is like systematic. Like this
don't
is
take
something.
Advantage of kids.
This is something that she does to different artists. Like
right.
I met after my experience with her, I met a whole contingency of people. Same exact experience.
People
long
have
hair,
their MO.
I had long hair at the time. She
literally picks the same looking dude.
Yes.
Oh man.
And it's like crazy, man. Like this is a lady from who was kind of like a groupie in the 80s. You know what I mean? So she's like older, lingering, like well connected, but like. Bro, like crazy, and this shit is still playing out for me. Sometimes I see her, and it's terrible for me. But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, I feel kind of bad for you. Like you trying to be relevant. You trying to, it's just the whole thing is just so like fucking bizarre.
That's the truth. Like people who screw you over, that's beautiful about human nature. There is a part in us where we can like flip it and actually have compassion for the worst person in the world.
It's been a while now too, right? And I'm like, yo, I would never work with her again. I would never, any scenario. I would smack the shit out of her rather than, you know what I mean? Like really.
Yo, that was obviously something you learned a lot from, man.
Yo, I really feel like
now you're calmer under pressure, but you're also like smarter approaching situations.
Yeah,
that's why you don't jump.
And people, like one of my best friends, Alex Halbert. Shout out Alex Halbert. He does something with me for almost every event, every show that I do. He works with projection and like map projection and animation and like all this different like digital sort of mediums.
Do it with your stuff or his own stuff?
We collaborate, but I sort of like, I'm like, yo, I have this idea. Can you help me like accomplish this?
It's like, okay,
so he kind of just helps me, but he does his own stuff as well, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And he recently he was like, dude, like you really like, basically we were throwing a show for this girl. I told her I would help her put together a show, and the show started at 6. Like the work didn't arrive until like 7:30 or something like that. And I was just like, I was furious, but I was like holding it together. And he was like, bro, like 2 years ago.
The show started at 6?
And the work didn't show up at 7:30 or something like that. We were like still hanging, and like we were still trying to mount shit onto boards. Like it was terrible. It was a terrible whatever.
Well, I guess if you're like you and you do as many shows as you do, you're bound to have that experience once. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it just like, I don't know. It just depends, She's the homie, so, I was happy to help her, but I had to have strong words with her about it. And, but like, he's known me since high school. So he was like, bro, if this were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you like I used to like one time I was super drunk and pissed and I like punched like his like side mirror of his car out and shit. Like he's seen me like
you're mellowing out with age.
Side. Yeah, he was like, dude, you really held it together. Like really, like whatever. And I was just kind of like, wow, like you're kind of right. I kind of was able to flip that and compartmentalize. Like
I think it's good, man. It's like there's like I still have like an appreciation and like I can romanticize anger and violence and shit in youth. But like I think the older we get, it's not healthy, it's not good, it's not right. It leads to more problems.
I mean, also anger has a place too, though. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to, in certain situations, you have to put your foot down and be like, yo, like, you know what I mean? As long as you can do it in a way that's like not. This is my thing. Is like, I'm trying to take emotion out of business, essentially. Like any situation where
I mean, that's smart. That's the way the business world works. It's pretty emotionless. If you show emotion,
they're
trained. It's not like unspoken. They speak. They know it. They're like sharks. They taste the blood. This guy's fucking emotional.
And it just doesn't.
Same thing in like corporate workplaces.
Yeah, and it's just you burn bridges. People don't want to work with you. There's all kinds of different negative side effects to doing that. So I'm really practicing, like, no matter what the situation is. Like, I'll let you know that I'm mad, you know what I mean? I'll be like, yo, you're pissing me off, but, like, I'm
not flipping
trying.
Off
Yeah, I'm trying to just remove emotional reactions from things, you know what I mean? And
letting the irrational take over.
Like
becoming irrational.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who have sort of, like, pointed me in that direction and sort of helped me realize that I needed to do that, you know what I mean?
Cool.
So I don't know. It's interesting, you know.
That's really well said, man.
Word.
I think that's a good note to end on too, because we're at an hour and 40 minutes, dude.
Sheesh.
Solid conversation. I mean, I could go forever. I could
too.
I feel
probably,
like 2 hours. I could hit 2 hours. If you want to talk more, I'm down.
I mean,
I'm actually staring at you, and I feel like I'm on like shrooms right now. I'm so tired.
Really?
I was like,
you're
because I told you I pulled that all nighter last night. I got 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And like even right now, I'm like, fuck. Do I hop back into this job? Do I go to sleep? I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. I feel like reality is kind of trippy to me right now. You know, when you're like haven't slept in.
It's always a little trippy for me, but I definitely feel you.
Yeah, it is always trippy. But no sleep makes it like. Just say you don't need to take shrooms. Just don't sleep.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I should probably go anyways because I gotta paint like 250 bricks.
Yo, man, my life is crazy right now, but. I'll just text you and maybe drop by the studio. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I want to see the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, actually, before I leave, let me say one more thing. I have another solo show September 29th at Deep Space Gallery in Jersey City. Cool. So that's the next thing that I gotta plug.
We didn't talk about Mana Contemporary at all, man. Next time, another time.
You sure? We could do 10 minutes.
You want to do 10 minutes?
I don't know. Maybe not.
5 minutes?
I might say something untoward, you know. You have like a question?
I mean, you already told me a little bit about it. I'm just curious because I don't totally remember. Nah, we'll leave it. We'll see, unless you're like really tempted to talk.
No.
We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do a part 2 or something.
Yeah. You do a lot of shows, so you'll have something else to promote, man.
That's true. Cool,
man.
I'm sure.
You're inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming here.
No, thanks for having me, man. I was like, this is my first podcast, so I'm stoked. Yeah.
Yo, I love popping cherries on the podcast, man. It's like, this is my first podcast, too, but now that I've, like, you know, it's my first podcast, you know what I'm saying?
No, actually, I was going to say, too, like, because you mentioned being an actor earlier, and I kind of have a dream of being like a voice actor.
Yeah,
so
you got
like,
a nice, deep, bassy voice.
Any casting agents out there, like, you know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy.
Yo, hit him up. How do they reach you? How do people reach you for your art and for voiceover work?
Fucking, I don't know. What my email?
Yeah.
ryan.w.bock, B-O-C-K, @me.com. Or you could just call me.
And if he wants, I'll put that in the description too.
Yeah. I'm easy to reach. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you are, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out his art and you'll see that it's all over the place. And it's awesome. It's fun because it pops up in like windows.
Yeah.
Pops up in unexpected places. It's kind of fun.
Pops up.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Wow. What a guy. What a story that was. I gotta thank him again for it. Thank you for sharing that, Ryan. Thanks for coming on the episode, and tune in next week for another episode of Short, Bald, and Angry.